So here's a question for you. Would you benefit from ongoing support to improve your sales conversations and ultimately close more business? The Sales Maven Society offers you daily support for your urgent sales questions, an extensive library of bite-sized trainings to hone your selling skills, and monthly live coaching calls where you receive individualized coaching from me specific to your business so that you're able to remove any bottlenecks in your sales process. This is the most robust sales coaching program around for an incredible value of only $147 a month. And you can join now for your first month for only $47. You get access to absolutely everything, including the live coaching calls with me. Come check it out and see if this is the place for you to really elevate your business to the next level. You can do this by going to yoursalesmaven.com/society, hit the join now button. And then when it takes you to that page, enter this code, the number 4, the number 7, and the word trial, TRIAL. So 47 trial, all one word, and you'll be a member. I can't wait to see you in there. Now, here's the podcast.
Do sales conversations make you feel awkward or pushy? It's time to ditch the outdated salesy strategies. Your guide, Nikki Roush, will show you how to combine kindness with selling skills to meet your prospects where they are, and in the process, how to up-level your influence and income. Learn how to earn business easily and effortlessly. Here's Nikki.
Welcome, and thank you for listening to the Sales Maven Show. I'm your host, Nikki Roush. I'm your own personal sales maven here to offer you tips, techniques, and strategies to master the sales conversation. Today's episode, we're going to be sharing a sales success story with one of our brilliant Sales Maven Society members. Samantha Irwin is here with us. I'm so excited for you to hear. And the topic around the sales success story is how you can use selling skills in your everyday life and be successful with it. So before we get there, let's welcome her. Samantha, welcome to the show, friend.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for having me. It is literally an honor. Like I have a girl crush, just like my husband said, girl crush.
Oh, that makes me laugh. I was so, Samantha and I had a virtual lunch together last week, and her husband, I got to meet her husband virtually. He was very kind. And he said something about a girl crush, and I'm sure my face went so red, but it's very, very flattering and very.
So did mine. I didn't know he was going to say it. I was like, oh my God.
It cracks me up. Okay, Samantha, tell everybody a little bit about you and your business.
No, you betcha. My business is Kaizen Coaching and Consulting, and small business owners hire me to help them with tools and training to make sure their staff is amazing, even when they're gone. So they provide consistently amazing customer service experiences. And people hire me to speak and teach, which I love. Yeah.
Well, let's just say the importance of your team representing the culture, the brand, the consistent message is so crucial to a business's success. And I just don't think there are a lot of people out there really focused on the customer service aspect. So what a treat and what a huge opportunity people have to bring you in to have their team get some training to really elevate that experience for the customer.
You bet. Well, thank you. I hope so. I think my heart is to support independent small business owners because without them, we look like anywhere USA, any towns they are the fabric. So, and they have such impact and influence. And so that's my heart right there.
And you have a unique background, I think. Well, you tell me, but I think it's unique in that you had a boutique hotel, mm-hmm. and you were able to put together an incredible staff that had this experience for your customers that would come in, that would make them want to come back again and again and again and stay at the hotel.
Yeah. Yeah. My first chapter 1. I have my master's of arts in teaching, and I taught middle school for over a decade and loved it. So right there gives you a little bit of an idea of my personality. So much fun. And I learned right away that, I know, so all the background about how people learn, how you motivate them, how middle school kids, getting them on the same page and common vision and supporting them and challenging them, all of that all applied to when I moved away from middle school teaching. And my husband and I bought this boutique hotel that was, 3 stories, built in 1907, had not been open since the 40s. And this is 2006. It had no furniture in it. They'd sold off all the furniture. And it was located in a town that was a population of about 650 people. So literally it was a blank slate, lots of stripping woodwork and restoration and landscape and furnishing, and then starting it. I saw the vision and I threw up a Hail Mary prayer and I was like, oh, this is it, open the doors. And it happened really fast. So yeah, I loved it, and ended up applying a lot of the same skills in growing a team of people that could provide consistently amazing customer service experiences. So very, very customer centric. And that meant me focusing on supporting my staff. Of course, there's a learning curve, but yeah. In a nutshell.
But you learned it. And now you teach other business owners and other staffs so that they can provide exceptional customer service. Because I say this all the time, and I know I've shared many a story on the podcast about bad customer experiences that I've been on the receiving end, that it just makes such a difference. And it's, you want to keep your existing clients. Like, it's easier to earn repeat business than it is to go find new clients. And so when you have people that want to come back again and again, and not only that, but those people will also be sharing about their experience, and you create ambassadors in the marketplace for you, which cuts down on your marketing expense. Like, there's so many benefits to really training your staff in customer service. And I think people think it's like, well, you just smile and be nice. I think there's more to it than that. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. I was like, you were saying that you just went on your masterclass there. And in my mind, I'm like, preach it, sister. That's right. That's exactly right. And I've got all these statistics. I said, yeah, this is customer acquisition, and this is your lifetime value. And you hit the nail on the proverbial head. It's the key to growth. It is literally the key to growth. People will return if they have a poor product experience, but a great customer service experience. They will forgive that person and they will return. The opposite is not so necessarily true. If you have a great product experience, but every time you go in, the service is terrible and you end up feeling like a jerk, they don't enhance your day. There's no way you're going to take your boss for a nice meeting or send someone valued client there. No way.
Right.
So yeah, it makes all the difference in the world. And there's some tricks to teaching, but they're definitely skills. They're definitely skills you can use, just like kind of what you do. There's so many skills that you teach that are tiny tweaks that are amazing.
And what an amazing investment in your people to provide this with this type of training. I don't know if you have stats about this, and I'm not necessarily saying that you should, but I would imagine that some of that will feed into employee retention as well, right? Because you'll have a happier staff. Mm-hmm. They'll enjoy their job more.
Yep. You got it. Jeez, it's like, I didn't even give you any notes. You just know this.
I'm passionate about customer service. And I will say, I'm passionate about people learning customer service for their team. So here's Samantha, everybody. You're going to want to reach out to her at the end and have her come speak at your events or have her come train your team, because this stuff matters, I think, as much as sales, because as soon as you get the sale, you still have to continue to earn that business.
Yeah. So I agree. Ooh, maybe we're like the Wonder Twins.
Maybe. We'd have a lot of fun being the Wonder Twins.
Yeah, we would.
All right. Well, you have a unique experience of how you've used some of the things that have come up in the Sales Maven Society, and you've used them in your personal life. So I was really excited that you were interested in sharing this sales success story, because I think sometimes people think, well, I don't need selling skills. And I personally believe that selling skills are a skill that it's universal, that you can use it in every context of your life with every relationship. And you have a really great example. So do you want to kind of dig in and tell us a little bit about kind of what was happening, what we worked on, what happened as a result of you implementing it?
Yeah, you bet. And I agree. If anybody is listening out there, I would say that I had the same, I guess, preconceived notions about selling skills in the Sales Maven Society, that it was, it helped me in my business and helped me to help my clients figure out if this is the right thing or whatnot. And I have been, it's kind of ruining me for everything else, from conversations with my husband, with my family, with what I'll share. It's applied across the board. And I've seen a difference. And I wish I could just highlight all the little tiny things that have been happening. We'll just talk about one, but definitely has applied. The skills that you've taught me have applied to my personal life in a way that I never would have imagined, but I'm super grateful. So you probably want me to dive into the story, yeah? About,
if you're willing, yeah.
Yeah, you betcha. So let's see. My mom has some neurological issues. So she has some caregivers. We have some people that come in the morning and the evening, and she's pretty amazing. My mother, as a matter of fact. We just have some people that come in for assistance, and they're employees, really. So any business, there's challenges, and there are things that you do to help support the team. So just like that, I'm supporting these people. There's one woman who I've had a little particularly challenging time with for a while. And I knew that I needed to have a face-to-face conversation with her. And because of life circumstances, I did what I shouldn't do. And I don't teach this, but I put it off, and it kind of got worse. And just before my mom was coming back, she was at my sister's. This gal texted, and she couldn't come in. And it was a last minute thing, which is not fun, because I rely on these people greatly. And I texted back. We did a couple of times of back and forth texting. And one of the rules that I learned when I was in my young 20s, when I first started my first job, my boss called me in, because it was back in the day when there's email, right? We didn't have texting. And a gal and a coworker and I were going back and forth via email, and it wasn't being resolved, and it was going downhill. So my boss called me in and said, hey, look, in the future, when this happens, if you haven't resolved something back and forth twice via email, stand up, walk across the hall, and go talk to the person face to face. And since that time, it was like a little magic pill. It works like crazy. It works amazing. So for the most part, I follow that. However, in the story I'm going to tell you, I didn't. And it bites me in the butt every single time. And it did again. Well, the conversation went south in a hurry. I had feelings. She, I'm sure, had feelings. I wasn't very happy. But I knew long-term that I wanted this relationship to be a good one, because she needed to step away from the job. But we live in a small town. So I knew I wanted the relationship to be good long-term. And also I may see her in the grocery store. It's just the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. So I knew that I needed to pull my big girl, whatever, on and invite her to coffee face to face. And I really wasn't sure about how to do that, because my feelings were still very much on edge. And so I reached out to you in the Sales Maven Society, and this isn't, this was my personal life. And I posted it was very raw, what I was going to write. And I thought, that's all I got. I need some help. And you crafted you made these tiny tweaks that crafted the message. And I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. I sent it to her via email, and she responded right away and said, yes, she would get together, which surprised me greatly, honestly. And that is directly result of the conversation, the language that you gave me. So then I'm nervous. I'm like, okay, I got to meet with her. Now I'm grabbing my Sales Maven stuff about setting up the conversation and framing the expectations. So on the way up to this coffee shop, I'm walking up and I am out loud looking like a crazy person walking past the school. I am framing the conversation and practicing. And when I sat down with her, I framed the conversation. I said, how long are the expectations? And
so that's pre-framing.
Pre-framing. Yeah. Oh gosh, yes. Well, I haven't got my language down.
No, you're perfect. You're perfect. I just want to make sure for people who've heard me talk about pre-framing, this is what Samantha is referring to.
Thank you. Thank you.
So important to pre-frame the start of a meeting to set expectations. I love that you did this in your personal conversation.
Yes. And it was for my, I didn't want the conversation to go south, and I didn't want to hash over what we were talking about. I just wanted to apologize for this misinterpretation. So I pre-framed it, and then I said that I wanted to, or something about accomplishing two things, because there were two things I wanted to address. And then I asked her if she preferred one or the other. And at that point, it was kind of weird, like magic, that I saw her body language change and soften. I don't know, Nikki, if it was simply giving her the choice or the whole thing that I did, but it was really interesting. And she, said what she said. And I went in and I apologized for one thing, and then we discussed the other one. And it was a fantastic conversation. It went so well. And it's directly all those things that you taught me. So thank you very much. It was amazing. Actually, quite amazing.
Well, so I'm so impressed and grateful that you looked at how can I use these skills that I learned in this one area and apply it to this other area. Mm-hmm. Because difficult conversations are difficult conversations, whether it's in your personal life or your business life. And, depending on how you think about it, I try to show up with integrity in all areas of my life. And that means sometimes that what I would teach, over here, when I'm teaching people about interacting with customers, I have to be willing to do those things in my personal life as well for me to feel congruent. So the fact that this and that you show up from this congruent place is, I'm going to say, hopefully inspiring to people listening, but it also reminds me too of how important it is, the pre-framing. Like pre-framing is one of those skills and one of those techniques that, 9 out of 10 times when people are struggling, I'll ask them, are you pre-framing? And they'll be like, what now? What do you mean pre-framing? And it's like, well, pre-framing really sets the stage. It creates safety. So when you talk about that, her body language shifted, and the idea of making the other person or allowing the other person to feel safe in a conversation, it's like taking the really like the air out of the balloon, that if you like touch the balloon wrong, it's going to like pop and explode. But when you can pre-frame it, like sucks some of the air out. So now it doesn't feel like it's going to pop and explode. It's like, oh, I can sit back, I can relax, I can be in the conversation because I know I'm safe now. So I love that so much.
That is exactly what I saw. The balloon. That is a phenomenal example. Because I know this woman is a little volatile, like, just drama comes out. And that is exactly what happened. And it was literally like magic. And those are directly those skills. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, let me get the labeling right. Pre-framing, and then setting the expectations, and then giving her a choice, and then, whatever else. Yeah. From there, it was fun. It was great. So I am extremely grateful for you. Oh, and then the first part was you giving me the right language for the invitation in the first place.
Well, these are those moments, right? Where when you feel pinched by somebody or you feel a little hot under the collar, not usually the best place to send a message from, right? So to have a place where you can come and get somebody else to look at it and go, let's see, can we soften this a little bit? And how can we make sure that you're still being you, that you still get to say what you need to say, but you can say it in a way that the other person is more receptive. And to me, that is selling skills at its best, because that's really kind of the whole point of sales, is to make it easy for the other person to take in what you're saying and being willing to stay in conversation with you, which I think originally when you posted, you're like, I'm not even sure that she'll say yes to having this sit down with me, right? That was kind of one of the concerns. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I wasn't sure she would take it, honestly. I was surprised she did.
Yeah. I love it.
It went great.
I love that.
I've since used that same template for another. It's been a couple weeks of working my little small muscles, because I used that same structure for another conversation that had nothing to do with my business. I used the same invitation template kind of that you gave to me to invite another person, a business owner that is growing a business. And I was super excited. I had written a letter, some things, and I think I really felt like it came off wrong just because of their response. And I was thinking, oh crap, here we go again. Oh, we need to have a face-to-face conversation. And they accepted the invitation and then tried to pre-frame and sat down and had a conversation with them as well. So yeah, I'm trying to use it all over the place, Nikki.
You are building those muscles. This is this is now Samantha. You own this. This is yours. This is who you are and how you show up. And congratulations. I'm really excited for you.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else you want to say there or share there before we kind of start to wrap up for the episode?
No, I think it's good. I mean, I'm going to start applying it to everybody, my family. No.
Well, and what's also interesting is as you apply these skills and as you demonstrate these skills, a lot of times what happens is the people around you, the important people around you, will start to pick them up and use them and have success in their own lives, even without you necessarily even commenting. Because, like, we pay attention to what works around us. So when you're able to do this in your family conversations or with your friends, they're able to then take that and use it in their own life. And then this is, I think, it's the compound effect, right? This is where you really start to make a much bigger impact in your community when you show up from that place. So I'm excited.
Thank you. It's true. And also I have to say, it gives me a roadmap, and it makes me also much more calm and intentional in the conversation. And and they're baby deer. I'm on baby deer legs right now, just baby foal legs, trying to get up and walk. So one day I
don't know if you're giving yourself quite enough credit. You're so amazing. I love that, though. It's been such a joy to have you in the group. I always like to close with two questions. And one, I mean, obviously you've shared your successes, but is there anything in the Sales Maven Society that you would say has like been a surprising benefit for you besides, what we just talked about?
Oh, a surprising benefit.
I didn't tell you I was going to say that too.
I know, she's surprising me with a surprise question. Put me on the spot. I'd say that the first big aha thing, the first big aha moment for me was when I think it's in the Sales Maven content. I believe that's where it is. And it was about pre-framing or it might've been a live that you did. I don't recall, but I remember it was as if you spoke directly to me, because my conversations with prospective clients or new people, typically my conversations would be an hour, sometimes 2 hours. And I was really having a hard time. I get so excited. I was having a hard time shortening those. And you said, if your calls are an hour, you're coaching, you're not whatever it was. Yes. And I was like, oh shit, or shoot. Oh, crikeys. She just basically shot me right in the heart. And, going through that, I don't know which module it is, but there's a module that you have. I think it's one of the very first ones, and it talks about
Yeah. Converting consultations into paying clients.
Yeah.
It's in the training center. I know exactly what yes. It's like
amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your consultations, you should be
my
able to do
little
them in 30 minutes or less.
notes, my little questionnaire. I love it. That has been one of the biggest takeaways. It's really, that's been phenomenal. I could tell you a lot more, but we don't have 2 hours.
That's perfect. That's perfect. You're perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So for people listening, I suspect that there's some people out there that have some people on their team that need some support around customer service and how to really elevate the customer experience. So what's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
I would say the best way, I'm on the different social media things, but just the best way is going to my website and getting in contact there. There's a couple of great downloads with a customer journey mapping, but the website's a little weird. So it's not .com. So it's kaizen.zone. So it's KAIZEN.ZONE. And that's it. It's not .zone.com. It's just .zone.
.zone. Okay.
Yeah.
We will have this in the show notes, so you can go and click the link and maybe pause the episode and write this down. Will you give your website one more time?
Yes. Kaizen.zone. KAIZEN.zone. ZONE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, you need a speaker, you need some training. Reach out to Samantha. She is a delight. You got a little glimpse of her personality. She is such a big, fun personality, so loving, so full of just light and happiness. And I'm just so thrilled to have you in the group. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your success story. It's really an honor. And for you, the listener, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for taking part in the podcast. Thanks for sharing the episodes. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for reaching out to me. I just got an email yesterday from somebody about the current episode that's airing. And she was like, I was just thinking I needed to figure this out. And then here's this episode. So nothing delights me more when I put out an episode that is specifically meant for you to hear it. And thank you for letting me know when that happens. I really appreciate it. All right. Have a great day, everybody. And we'll be back next week.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to Sales Maven. Visit us online at yoursalesmaven.com/maven for more resources to boost your confidence and skills.